At the age of 22, I was just roaming around with my friends, and I was not aware about, like, you were thinking about the business that time. So please tell us about your early life and how you thought about the business, creating a business at the age of 22. So from last 30 years, more than 30 years, you are doing the business, and business strategies are changing these days frequently, and previously also it used to change. How you managed, the changes you brought in your business, and how you managed and to remain successful throughout the so many years.
Business strategies keep changing every now and then.
What are the challenges you faced as a woman that time while doing business? That after your child was born, after 5th day only, you went for some business work.
Yes.
When I gave a birth to a child, 5 days, so I was telling me, hold me, I can't walk. And how you did it, so much strength as a woman, as a mom, how it came, and wow.
Swati, normally, women have strength which they don't know.
As I know that you have won many awards from Times of India, Women See, CleanIndia Journal. So to our viewers, especially women, moms, what advice you want to give so that they can also manage their career and their kids, their life, and if they want to start business, if they want to start their career, what advice you want to give to our women viewers?
Yeah, I always tell women that they are very powerful. They can do anything what they think, what they want.
So at the age of 22, what you were doing? Roaming with friends, watching movies, doing the parties. So आज की जो हमारी guest हैं, at the age of 22, she was thinking about creating a business. And she is the best example of powerhouse mompreneur. She is doing the business from last more than 30 years. She is the best example of a boss lady. Please welcome Mrs. Renuka R to the channel. Hello Renuka, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Swati. Thank you for having me here. It is so nice to be here, and I have got this 30 years memory rolling in 2-3 days, and it was very nice for me.
It's my pleasure. At the age of 22, I was just roaming around with my friends, and I was not aware about, you were thinking about the business that time. So please tell us about your early life and how you thought about the business, creating a business at the age of 22.
Okay. Swati, I come from a conventional middle class family. So what changed me is, I have 4 siblings. My mother is a homemaker. My father was working for a public sector undertaking. Then, being the youngest of all the 4, I had 2 sisters and 1 brother, I was bubbly and pampered child. I used to always be with my brother wherever he went. And I got into his friend circle without any invitation. Not the boys had any problem with me. So that's the best thing. So starting from preparing the strings to fly kites and jumping from house to house, I used to do everything what a girl was not encouraged to do at that time. So maybe I think this got me to take risk and then polish my skills to do something on my own. Okay, and when it came to think of my career, to decide about my career, so in middle class, this was the norm. They used to, we should prepare for a central government job. And my brother, one of my sister and my brother was already into a government job. So they wanted me to prepare for this UPSC exam. And I said no. I wanted to do something on my own. Because I always felt 10 to 6 job very monotonous. Since nobody was there in my family into business, like my immediate family or my extended family, nobody was into business. So when I told them that I want to do business, it came as a shock to them, and with a lot of concern and disagreement, they said no. So finally, what I did is I took up the exam. I cleared the exam. So while I was preparing for the exam, I chanced upon a newspaper ad, which says mushroom the cultivation. So I just went for 3 days training. Then I tried my hands on that. It did well. Okay, I was successful, but I thought that idea was not sustainable. So, and in the meantime, I was also preparing jam, squash, vinegar, and selling it to my friends and relatives.
Wow.
So that's how was my childhood.
So the gene was already always there in your blood of
Yes.
doing the business.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So, ma'am, you lost your mother at such young age. So how did it affect you and how you cope up with that loss?
Okay. Losing my mother was incredibly difficult. It was a jolt for not only for me, for the entire family.
Yeah.
But, we had to learn to navigate the responsibilities and manage the house. Being the youngest of all, I took the responsibility of managing my home. And with the help of neighbors and relatives, I tried to somehow find place in the kitchen, literally and figuratively. Initially, cooking was very difficult, but I took one day at a time to learn how to, how to find solution to the new circumstances. And later I realized that cooking became my passion, and it gave me a sense of control and a satisfaction that not only that I was providing for myself, but for my entire family. And as I started doing that on a regular basis, then I realized it is like I was coping up with the grief, and it was like honoring my mother's memory because she was a fantastic cook. So I started learning. Then now that is helping me out in my business of running corporate guest houses. Because when you say guest houses, food is involved. So that's how I started coping up with with the loss of my mother.
Yeah, so emotional and inspirational frequently. So from last 30 years, more than 30 years, you are doing the business and business strategies are changing these days frequently, and previously also it used to change. How you managed, the changes you brought in your business, and how you managed and to remain successful throughout the so many years?
Business strategies keep changing every now and then. But then we should learn to go along with the flow. So what I did is, how I started is, I kept attending trainings. Trainings by experts in the industry. So, you also learn to go with the flow. So that, and then new technologies we have to learn. And since I'm not a technology person, for me it was very difficult to adapt to new technologies. But then I started realizing what is important to me. So those technologies I started adapting. So that way, I feel really nice that 30 years I am still doing business.
Yeah, that's so wonderful, so inspiring. I think you also grew with time, with the trainings. We also grow. If we adapt the new changes, then it's good for our business also.
Right.
Yeah. So that time, before I think 30 years.
Right.
So 30 years before, womanpreneurs must be facing many challenges, because now also I see, and that time also, it's a male dominated business environment, right?
Right.
So what are the challenges you faced as a woman that time while doing business?
Tell me, Swati, who don't face challenges? Who doesn't face challenges?
But I think
Okay.
woman face more.
Yeah. Whether you're a working professional or whether you're into business, we all face challenges. But it is unique to each one.
Yes.
And as you rightly said, I faced numerous challenges. Okay. Sometime like, they would directly, indirectly, subtly, openly, people would try to calm me down.
Yeah.
But then, see, this all didn't affect me. And once, a couple of men even stopped my car.
Oh.
Yeah, and they threatened me. And I just spoke to them and moved out. And once even my employees tried to bring me down. When they wanted to boycott the work the next day, I sent something because, I was always perceptive. And if I have to say, I was more intuitive in nature. Like, I sensed something is going wrong. So what I did is, next day when I went to office, I went with backup resources.
Okay.
And I was able to, do that particular day's work. So, and then, it was like every time I had to keep my antenna right, because we don't know, because I was dealing with laborers.
Yes.
At that time. So we should always be alert, and we should never, look back or just, think like, how to face. You should always be ready to face. So I always kept my antenna right and positive, and always open for challenges. So I think that way, because of that, I was able to.
I think you didn't leave that attitude that I can do it. So
Yes.
you did it.
Yes.
And yes, this woman antenna that you said, like, we always should listen our woman
Yes.
instinct.
Right.
That is our sixth sense.
Yes.
That is almost every case that is true.
Yes.
So we should definitely listen to that.
Yes, and I don't like these three words. That is, I don't know, I can't, it's impossible. That is just not there. Only once I think I use this word. I will tell you when I use these words during our course of conversation.
Oh, okay. Definitely, yeah. It's so inspiring, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I've heard that, like, in your marriage Haldi ceremony also, in between you went for some business work.
Yes.
What was going in your mind? Like, these days we see people are so much like ready, they do preparation for their marriage for so many days, and this shoot, that shoot, this costume, that costume, I should not go in sunlight, I will become dark. What was going in your mind? Like, in your Haldi day you went for to attend some business work. So much passion, I want to know, like, what was going in your mind?
Yes, all I wanted is to be a successful entrepreneur. I always felt marriage was like, for my family and siblings. Because, see, elders always feel that, their children should be settled. And siblings, being the older siblings, they always feel that, okay, once the younger siblings are settled, they are settled. Okay. So, but for me, it was just like, a routine. Okay, everybody has to get married, so I'm getting married. It was like that. But I more of, if I have to tell you, then, I wanted to be an entrepreneur than, getting married. So since I was focusing on that, I had to do, because I just started, when I was getting married, my business was just shaping up. And I had only limited resource to help me. So I had to go on that day. Normally what happens is, in our family, I mean in our tradition, Haldi happens 3 days before marriage. And I said that, I don't like these 3 words. But that was the first time I said, impossible. 3 days. I said impossible because, after Haldi, you're not supposed to move out. So I said no. Then after that, it happened on the same day of the marriage. My wedding was in the evening. So morning was a wedding. And just after the Haldi, I had to go because, my wedding took place in the first week of the month. So first week of the month is a salary week.
Okay.
So I cannot afford to take off. So I went to office to one of my clients' place because, I had to submit some documents. And since technology was not there, so I had to go personally and submit the documents. Then evening, I hardly had couple of hours time. And after that also, I started working immediately.
Wow. It seems like business is your first love.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. Ma'am, we know that we say that every man's success, behind every man's success, there's a woman. So what was your support system after marriage? And after that you became mom also.
Okay.
So I think we say that to raise a child, we need a village in
Right.
India. So who was your support system after marriage, after having baby?
Okay. My sister, my elder sister, was, even from the initial stage, actually I can call her as a co-founder. I'm the founder of the company. I can call her a co-founder, which I have never done. Okay, only now I'm just spelling it out. So she was the one who who always supported me, who always trusted me, and who always had confidence in me. And even after the childbirth, when I was, when I was thinking how to go ahead now, she stepped up and she said, okay, I will take care. She was working and she resigned her job and she wanted to take care. But then she had an option to work according to her timings. So she opted to work from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So because normally my work starts early in the morning.
Okay, so morning to
till evening she was
used to
there.
do?
And luckily my husband also had shifts. He was working on shifts.
Okay.
So morning, when he was in first shift, from morning till afternoon, he used to take care. Then again when he was in the first shift, he used to take care from 2 p.m., 3 p.m. onwards. Okay, in the second shift, he used to take care from morning till afternoon.
Wow, wonderful.
Yes.
Such a great bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I want to ask that I have heard that after your child was born, after 5th day only, you went for some business work.
Yes.
When I gave a birth to a child, 5 days, so I was telling me, ki, hold me, I can't walk. And how you did it, so much strength as a woman, as a mom, how it came, and wow.
Swati, normally, women have strength which they don't know. Okay. So women are I always say women are more powerful. Okay. Because they're not realizing how powerful they are. And they have to put it to the right use. That power, they have to put it to the right use. Okay. So though I would love to, cherish the memories of my newborn, again, he was born on 1st of Jan. So again, that is a salary week. And as I mentioned, with limited technology or with no technology at that time, so I was forced to work. I had to pay salaries in the first week. So I had to work from 3rd day itself. I started looking at the attendance. I had a C-section on first evening. Then I had to look at some attendance and all that. And fifth day when I got discharged, forcefully I got discharged. And then I went, when I reached home, my consultant was waiting. So we had to sit with attendants to do the payroll. Then sixth, I went to the bank, and the bank manager was shocked. Then they didn't, luckily they didn't make me wait. Then after that also the same day I had to prepare everything, because those days it was not, it was cash and we didn't have this RTGS, NEFT and all that. So literally I had to write all their names and everything, and then put the cash. Then seventh I went to some offices, and I had one supervisor. So he managed to visit the other offices. So we paid, one happiness is we paid salaries on time. Even when I got married in the first week, I paid salaries on time. Even when I gave birth on first, I paid salaries on time. And that is the only, strength of the company. Because I always feel that, we have to pay salaries on time, and we are doing it every time.
Wow, wonderful. So
Thank you.
inspiring to hear that, like, as a mom, I think you got double strength after you
Yes.
became a mom.
Yes.
Wow. So, ma'am, what is your stress buster? I mean to say, like, apart from business you love, but apart from that, what is your stress buster? That this thing I do and I forget everything, and I forget all my worries and tensions.
Okay. My stress buster is cooking. And I always tell that only when I'm in the kitchen, I don't think of any other things. Otherwise, no, every time there's somewhere subconscious, something is happening. But only when I'm at the kitchen, my focus is on the dishes I'm making. And I love cooking and upkeep.
Wow. Yeah, people must be saying that, like, she does so much business, she must not have entered into the kitchen. But yeah, you do so much nice cooking. And cooking, I think cooking is your stress buster.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
That was people's perspective, because even at times when I tell them that I was busy cooking and things like that, people used to look at me like, as though, like, I'm telling them a lie. But later when they got to know, I think they would have realized.
Yeah. Wow, wonderful. Nice to know you, nice to know your journey. Let's go ahead. So, what about your kids? And how as I know that you are also raising a future doctor. So, what do you teach him as a womanpreneur so that he can also adapt in his life?
See, I always tell him that being a good human is very important than being a doctor or an engineer or whatever profession he is in. And I always taught him that to be honest and to respect women. And I said, do what you like, don't compare. Because I have never compared my child. So I said, so even he should not compare. And he has to do what he wants. But whatever he does, he should do to the best. And anything he does, he should see, because, see, we all live in a society, and he should see that, whether it is accepted, whatever he does is accepted in the society. So even when he wanted to take the car and go out before 18, I said, no. I said, you have to get your license. The moment he got his license, then, I said, okay, because, that fear of doing something, illegal was not there with me. Because once you have a license, you can drive. So I said, it is just like that. Anything you do, you just see whether it is accepted in the society. If it is accepted in the society, then go ahead.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Ma'am, as I know that you have won many awards from Times of India, Women's Eve, CleanIndia Journal. So, to our viewers, especially women, moms, what advice you want to give so that they can also manage their career and their kids, their life, and if they want to start business, if they want to start their career, what advice you want to give to our women viewers?
See, I always tell women that they are very powerful. They can do anything what they think, what they want. But they have to take the first step. See, women are conditioned. Okay. So they always have doubt in them. Okay, will I be able to do? Can I do this? And all that. I said they can do anything. But they should take the step somewhere. And once they take the step, they should not take it back. See, I always used to tell myself, like whenever I face challenges, I used to tell myself that hum kisi se kam nahi.
Yes.
I used to keep repeating that word. Because then, for you, it is like, it gives a lot of strength when you feel that, okay, you can do everything. I always tell to lift a heavy weight also, you don't need strength in your body. It is only you need strength in your mind. So like that, women should have that, realize their true strength. And I'm sure they will do very well. And we are all seeing women how they are faring these days.
Yes.
So they will do. But they have to focus only on the end goal. I said, don't discuss. If you want to do something, don't discuss.
Do it.
Do it. Okay. If you're focusing, there is no chance of failure. It may be like, but very minimal. Because if you're focusing on your end result, where is the failure? Tell me. Because you have to reach that destination. So you'll know how to navigate it.
Yes.
So, but if you have a doubt only, here and there, you'll just stop. So I always tell women are more powerful. They don't know their strength. That's it.
And I think some women, like, they want someone, like, I want his help, I want her help. But I think you only said once to me that if help is not given, that is more better.
Better. Yes.
Because yes, we can know our strength.
Yes. See, I always quote this, okay. Suppose you're at home, sitting and watching TV, but you forgot to take the remote from there. So only if you see someone, you will ask them for help. Otherwise, you get up and take the remote. So while getting up to take the remote, you'll also remember that you have to take a cup of coffee or, a glass of water or something like that. But when you just have someone, you'll only say, okay, just get me that remote. Okay. So I mean to say, if you don't have help, you fare better.
Yes. If the help is given, that is fine.
Yes, you
if
try
it is
to
not
lean
given,
on
I
that
think
help.
it's much better.
Yes, if you try to lean on that help,
Yes.
then you lose out on so many things.
That's really great advice, ma'am, you have given. Even I as a woman have learned so much from you and from your journey. Thank you so much for coming here and talking to us, communicating with us, sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much. Even I have learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much, Swati. It was really wonderful. Again, I would like to tell that, I recollected the 30 years memories, and I was really feeling nice about myself, the way I handled things. Even today, if I think, I have just no clue how I handled, but I did it all.
You are really amazing.
Thank you so
Even
much.
So much to learn from you.
Thank you, Swati.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
So hello girls. So I hope आपको आज का पॉडकास्ट अच्छा लगा होगा. प्लीज़ कमेंट करके बताइए इफ़ एनीथिंग नीड्स टू बी एडेड. आई होप मॉम्स को इससे बहुत इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी फॉर वुमन गर्ल्स को who says, who think that I can't do it, मुझसे नहीं होगा, it's impossible for me. But as we go through our guest journey today, so she did in 32 years before, when with very less resources, she started her own business, and she's continuing till now with many challenges faced in between, still continuing. So please don't think, girls, that I can't do it, it's not possible for me. Just do it, and you will be able to do it, because woman has great strength which God has given, so we can do anything. Thank you.